Hello, everybody. It's me alone today. Welcome to The Dial. My name is Daniel, and welcome to episode 2 of Stay on the Watch. So today, I'd like to talk about micro watch brands. It's very easy to talk about, the big guys, Rolex, AP, Patek, Richard Mille. But what about the micro guys? What about the smaller brands that make up the watch ecosystem, And it's more often than not, you find that these micro brands and these smaller guys make the most interesting and the most intricate of watches. So with that being said, I have a list of 5 micro watch brands that I came across. Well, micro to me, number one, because it was the first time hearing many of these brands, if not all of them, as well as, just, again, highlighting the fact that these are not your big players. These are not your big guys yet. They might be one day. They probably will be, to be fair. But yeah, just a round off 5 watch micro brands you might or might not have heard of. The first one is Horologer Ming from Malaysia. Malaysia, I know, right? Malaysian watches, crazy. Founded by 6 co-founders, but named after Mr. Ming Tian, and the current CEO being Praneeth Raj Singh, was founded in 2014 officially. And their goal is to revive the excitement and to discover innovative new ways to, I guess, create one-of-one, in some cases, pieces for watch enthusiasts, the real guys, the real watch enthusiasts. And that is reflected by their very much mechanically inducing, layered timepieces and innovative aesthetic. They have already received a lot of global recognition. In 2019, they won the Horological Revolution Prize, or the Grand Prix de Horologie de Genève. Pardon my French. And yeah, this is just to highlight, Mr. Ming Tian himself through my research. Very interesting individual, actually. Watch collector, watch enthusiast, being in the game for a very, very long time, actually. Well known in the industry. And his brand, his company is known for making extremely unique and special watches. One watch in particular that I came across is the Ming Lightweight 01, the manual and automatic. It is considered to be potentially the world's lightest watch. They are feather light, the manual and automatic being 8.8 and 10.8 grams. Grams, I said, guys, respectively, with a 38 millimeter case. And the case is treated, I think this is probably how, definitely plays a part in how they've gotten it to be this light, is that it is treated with an AZ31 magnesium, AZ31 magnesium alloy case, with a ionized aluminium dial and crown. It has got a 25 meter water resistance and a very unique movement modified specifically for Horologer Ming, being the ETA 2000 M1, and it has been modified by Schwartz Etienne. Malaysia, luxury, watchmaking. Sentence that you never thought you'd hear, but it's here. And Horologer Ming is already being recognized as an incredible micro watch brand. And yeah, this is just a special shout out to Horologer Ming. Fantastic. This episode of the Dial Podcast is sponsored by Eclectic Fragrance, organic luxury at its finest. New one coming soon. The second one, another African brand. We're an African platform and we have to support our people. A local, I like to use the word local, although they're not from South Africa. Local as in Africa, right? And so this is a brand that I was surprised to come across, but it is called Caveman Watches from the one and only Nation Ghana. Founded in 2018 by Mr. Anthony Mensah Dzamefe. This is Ghana's first ever watchmaking brand, and it has already been endorsed by the New York Times. If that doesn't say anything, I don't know what does. The name Caveman Watches, bit strange, right? It is to portray and this is according to them, word for word, the symbiotic relationship between the vintage methods of watchmaking and that of modern craftsmen. So the idea of hand assembling, handcrafting, the use of the finest natural, sustainable raw materials to ensure originality and creativity and undiluted quality. So this combination of using the sort of foundation and rules of watchmaking in and of itself, you know, the whole old school, the caveman aspect of it, but bringing in the modern, the innovative, the unique, you know, existing methods of watchmaking, and to make high quality watches. This watch has really been making strides, as I said, not only being endorsed by New York Times, but it has been seen being worn by African legend Angelique Kidjo, and even the actor Boris Kodjoe. So they have a very, very, very interesting, should I say, existence. And big shout out to Ghana, big shout out to Caveman Watches, and to the CEO, Mr. Anthony Mensah Dzamefe. One of the watches, just to mention, I couldn't get the price of this one either, is the Turbo Prime. I really like the design of this. We'll actually put the website links on the description below with all the with all the watch brands that we're talking about today. So the Turbo Prime comes with a 42mm case, sapphire coated, and with a 30-meter water resistance. Just a very beautiful watch, many complications. Yeah, you know what? I'll let you guys go and have a look for it for yourselves, but you'll see it on screen. And this is an absolutely beautiful watch, a unique brand, and I hope to see more from Caveman Watches. Third one, a brand that I think the way they position themselves anyway, if you're a real watch enthusiast, like a legend in the game, you probably heard of this brand, or at least the CEO and founder of this brand. An American watchmaker which launched in November 2013, founded by Mitch Greenblatt. Yes, I'm talking about Zarek. Zarek is maybe, for me, one of the most unique and special watch makers I have ever seen. But before we get into the actual watches themselves, let's talk about the CEO. Mitch Greenblatt became renowned already, being in the game for a very long time, when in 1999, Vogue reached out and wanted to write about the reselling of rare, collectible vintage watches from the 60s and the 70s. And then over time, documentaries over his very unique, and when I tell you guys, it is a large and unique vintage watch collection, it was done. This led to the eventual company that he created known as Watchismo. Watchismo then did a collaboration with French watch manufacturer LIP. And, well, again, he is known for his vintage watch collections and very unique perspective on watchmaking. And definitely that has shown itself in all of Zarek's watches. In quotations, I put a quote from their website. Zarek deconstructs the traditions of watch designs and pushed the boundaries of how to display time on a mechanical watch. And boy, can I say, that is definitely not far from the truth. So the one watch I'm going to talk about that they have, and they've got many, trust me, is the Holograph 3 Chrono in caution yellow. It is inspired by the 60s, specifically the year 1966. In 1966 was when the first American manufacturers won the 24 Hours of Le Mans, specifically the Ford GT40. If you know, you know. And this is what, inspires this watch. The 60s, right? American success, American excellence. The watch is a retro automotive twist to watchmaking with a precise Miyota JS50 quartz chronograph movement and with a linear chronograph displayed at the bottom, and it's displayed as if they're like gauges on the dash of a vintage car, which I think is a really nice touch. It has a 42 millimeter case, crystal, sapphire glass, with a 20 millimeter perforated racing style leather strap, as well as a really cool tool-free quick release sort of functionality, which is quite nice. I like, with a rotor resistance of 50 meters, and it is exclusive to only, you guessed it, 1,966 pieces per color, signifying the year that American manufacturers won their first 24 hours of Le Mans. Very interesting brand and very interesting watch. I think one day, I really hope to own a Zarek one day in my collection. They have a very, very unique perspective. They easily pull off this vintage aesthetic in a modern world, I would say, which I love. And I know I've mentioned one watch, but another watch that I really like about Zarek is the Soloscope 2 automatic in gunmetal orange. Just saying. Sounds crazy? You should look it up. It is it is a crazy watch. But I digress. The next one on the list comes from the land of the king, England. None other than Farah. Farah is a watch brand that launched in London in 2015. It is an independent watch company founded by 3 watch enthusiasts, namely Paul Sweetenham, Ben Lewin, and Jonah Holt. According to Farah, each of their watches offer a fresh take on the classic watch genre, if you will. And they really enjoy integrating their culture of watches and adventure, thrill-seeking. They're very big on history, British history. This is a proudly British watch brand, which is great to see. Supporting yourself is always good, as we'll always promote African brands. It's great to see that there's a watch brand that is very pure to their roots, in this case, being British roots. They say British design and Swiss quality. They focus on the extreme detail, the unique touch of their brand, and adventure. Adventure is the key word here. Don't forget that. So with that being said, the watch I'd like to just refer to that I found that I like a lot is the Lethbridge, specifically the Cardinal Burgundy Granolo leather strap. I like that combination. Yeah, I spent some time on your website, guys. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. It was too good. It's too beautiful. I was, sort of configuring my own watch there. But the history of the Lethbridge specifically, again, like I said, they're big on British history, or history in general. I like this part. The Lethbridge is named after Grace Margaret Lady Hay Drummage Hay, née Lethbridge, who was a British explorer and journalist. And in August of 1929, she became the first woman to travel around the world by air in the LZ-127 Graf Zeppelin airship. She was the only woman among 60 male passengers and crew. So already, wearing a watch like this, you already understand the power behind it, the history behind it, and how important, they are making us learn of their history, which is always a good thing. So this particular watch is a 316 L Marine grade stainless steel with a Swiss-made Sellita SW216-1 Alhambra Grande movement. Ooh, mouthful. And of course it has an hours function, minutes function, small, and it has a small seconds function at the 6 o'clock hour mark with a manual winding. It has 24 joules and a power reserve of approximately, with it being full wound, 45 hours. Yes, I really love Farah. I think it's a really cool brand. Again, not being British, but I appreciate their attention to British history, to history in and of itself, and British culture. And the final brand we'll talk about today is a local one, a very local one this time, from South Africa, being Inkari Timepiece. Inkari means time in none other than the Xitsonga language. It is emphasizing that this is Africa's time to shine. I love that. This is Africa's time to shine. The history of Inkari goes as the following. It was founded in 2019 by Mr. Almond Khoza, but the history goes much further than that. In fact, to his father, Mr. Khoza Sr., in 1980. In 1980, Mr. Khoza Sr. enrolled in the watchmaking and repair course up until 1983. And later, when Mr. Almond Khoza was only 6 years old, he received his first ever watchmaking lesson from his father. The meaning and story behind Inkari and why they exist, I believe, and according to how they speak about themselves, is in connection with the distinctive characteristics of African cities, believe it or not. Not just that, but while Mr. Almond Khoza was around the continent installing solar energy systems, he noticed and deeply appreciated the aspiration that African cities bring to people. People don't, come from rural areas, from places that are underdeveloped to come to the city, as we say, and that is how we see our future being, right? We become energized, we become, hopeful that we come to these cities and we will become successful, we will earn money, we will make something of ourselves and for our families. So Inkari Timepieces is inspiring to me because they pay homage to the hopes and dreams that African cities give. From Lomé in Togo to Cairo in Egypt to Casablanca in Morocco to Joburg to Maputo to Nairobi to the list goes on. All these places have a special, unique sort of giving, if you will, towards its people. And the dreams that these cities hold is something that Inkari Timepiece is pushing forward. I think this is a beautiful story. And just one watch that I like, that I saw on their website, is a watch called the City of Gold 2.0. Their watches are named after cities, in case you haven't realized by now. And this particular watch is a brushed gold case with a 5-hand chronograph quartz movement. It is also known as the City of Lights. In another case, locally, that would be Maboneng. It has a 42mm case, gold-plated stainless steel, 316L, with a stainless steel case back, sapphire crystal glass, with a matte black dial, and a Seiko movement, with a, again, full gold-plated stainless steel strap with a water resistance of 50 meters. So these are just 5. And yes, I know there are many, many more, and we want to go through all of them, especially the African ones, especially the lesser known ones, especially the new ones. Because as we've said previously, watchmaking has not, it is not an African, if you will, an African industry yet. It is not dominated by Africans, and rightfully so, understandably so. So we are glad to see more African watchmakers and watchmaking, prestigious and high quality watchmaking being produced in Africa. And we will speak about more micro brands. These are just 5, guys. Don't worry. I know there are many, many more. In fact, I would appreciate in the comments, comment your favorite micro brand. Share your favorite micro brands that I definitely have never heard of. And I will appreciate engagement here because yeah, let's shine light on the smaller guys. It's not always about the big guys with the most money who can market to everyone and automatically look good and is everyone's favorite. Let's give the smaller guys a chance. So that's it. This has been episode 2 from Stay on the Watch. My name is Daniel. Please like, subscribe, follow, and do all the nice things. Comment anything you want, even if it's just a hello, we'll say hello back. And with that being said, never forget to stay on the watch.